Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Lex Luther with the power suit. This is from the DC Rebirth era, and this is a gold label. This is from Target exclusive, or this is a Target exclusive figure. So, as always, we're going to be taking a look at the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button down to support the channel, to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So, let's take a look at the box. The front of the box looks like this side, the back, the other side, top, and bottom. Now remember, this is a Target exclusive gold label, so if you want to purchase this figure, you have to go to Target. So let's take a look at the figure outside the box. As always, you do come with a card, so the front of the card looks like the back of the card. There's no accessories, but it does come with a regular flying stand, which I really like these flying stands. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at this figure itself. And right away, that head sculpture is very cool, man. I really dig the head sculpture. It looks very good. Unfortunately, yes, I know it does have the, as you can see right there, the side eyes, which I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of it, but to each their own. Head articulation is good. Up, down is actually really good. Look at that. Really good. Left and right is very good. But the head sculpture, I mean, the paint is really good. Look at the lips, the eyes, the colored eyes, green, the eyebrows. Again, very good sculpture design in the paint on this figure. And I gotta say, McFarlane did a really good job with this. In terms of this particular figure, the head sculpture is very good. Let's take a look at the arm. Shoulder articulation, good. Elbows, good. Wrist, they do articulate. They know they swivel, but they do articulate just mine or a little bit. They want to put up a fight right now. There you go. You guys can see that right there. So they do articulate. The paint job on this arms, though, it's clean, simple, obviously red and blue, which is unfortunate. And I say unfortunate because there is a lot of detail on this sculpture design. Just look at that, all that detail right there. That design right there, that texture design. Even on the shoulder piece, it looks very good. The biceps right here. All that detail. The gauntlet right here. Again, that's where this figure really stands out. Torso articulation. Good. It's good, actually. I'll dig it. Superman logo. I like it. Clean, simple, big. I wish it was glow in the dark. It would have been really cool little thing. And overall, though, in terms of the sculpture, this is where this figure stands out. And there's a downside to it. But the good side is the amount of detail on this figure. Look at all of that detail right there. It looks fantastic. Just look at all that. Futuristic, all cable, like, you know what I mean? Something that Lex Luther would kind of rock, and it looks good, man. Look at all that detail. It it really does look good. Even on the back, look at that. Look at all that detail, all that sculpture design right here on his back. It looks really good, man. It looks good, which is a good thing, but it's also a downside. And I'll talk about that once I'm finished doing everything else. But the cape, clean, simple design. I dig it. Not much to it. Has a little bit of like a matte look to it. So overall, I gotta say the upper body sculpture design is fantastic. Paint is good, but with a negative, which again I'll talk about in a bit. But articulation, I gotta say it looks good though. I dig it. Now let's take a look at that leg articulation. Good. Knees, good. Ooh, it's a little stiff. Ankles, good. And of course, toes, good. Same type of sculpture is also consistent on the legs. Just look at that. Look at that detail on the leg. Look at the thighs here. Inner thighs. Thighs right here. The knee pads as well too. All that sculpture detail just look fantastic. Even on the back. Let's take a look at the back. Just look at that. Oops. Look at that. Again, it's the little things that make a difference. It's these little things that make a difference. It just looks really cool, man. And the sculpture on this figure is top notch, man. It looks, there's so much going on which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. And again, I'll talk about that. Actually, I'll talk about it now. The good thing about this is, again, look at all that detail. It looks good, right? But here's the problem. It's just one solid color. That's where I'm kind of like, ugh. And I'm bringing this up because if they had this kind of color right here on this belt, similar to this on the chest, they've kind of color on maybe some of the bolts right here. You know what I mean? Just more to it. I think it would have popped more. And I think that's where the fault of this figure is. The sculpture is fantastic. The detail is there, but it's just one solid paint. Oh, if you want to be technical, technically it's like 3, because you got the red, right? Red outline, the blue, and of course it's kind of like almost like white, but a little bit like, kind of a glow in the dark kind of white look, if that makes any sense. But I wish there was more paint on here so you can see the sculpture design, because again, there's so much going on in the sculpture and the body and the armor that if it's painted all one color, it just blends in and you can't really see the detail. But I'm telling you, when you look up close, you appreciate the little things like that. And to me, I think the downside of it is the paint. It's just one solid piece. Now, I get it, $20. You know, you can only get so much. But to me, and McFarlane for this gold label one, if he were to add maybe a little bit more paint on it, again, just, or maybe this kind of design right here, this kind of texture design, if you were to paint that black, only just this parts right here black, I think it would have popped even more. Like for instance here on that bicep there, also right here, you see what I mean? If they were to paint this kind of design black, it would have popped even more. But it's just painted all blue, so it doesn't really stand out. So unfortunately, all the detail gets overshadowed by that paint color. So again, that's just me though. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. But man, the sculpture on this is fantastic, and the head sculpture is really good, man. I really dig it. Now the main question is this worth your purchase? In my honest opinion, heck yeah. I think this is a fantastic looking figure. Sorry, I'm putting him in the stand here, but I think it's a fantastic looking figure. The sculpture, it looks really good, man. You have to see this in person. It looks really, 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 really good, man. I really like the sculpture design. The paint on the head is good. The body, it's clean, but again, all that sculpture is overshadowed. All that detail in that sculpture is overshadowed by that one solid paint of blue, which again, I know is similar to the comics. I get it, but again, if you were just to paint some of it, other colors, it would have really popped and you would have appreciated the figure even more. So overall, would I recommend it? I would say, yeah, man, for $20, let's just look at all that. Sculpture's good, articulation's good, paint's good, and the potential, if you're a customizer, if you like to custom, the thing is, it's perfect figure for it, because you can paint the little things, make this figure pop even more. You can't go wrong with it, and I thumbs up for me, and I highly recommend getting this figure. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on this figure? Do you plan to purchase this figure? Or did you really purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to support the channel, to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So that concludes the overview of Lex Luther with the power suit from the DC Rebirth era. This is the gold label Target exclusive. So you're planning on getting this figure, you can only get it at Target. And on to the next one.